Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Great job, Patty. Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It is Friday, June 19th. Happy Juneteenth, everyone.
Yes, that's right.
That is right. I'm Tori here with Erica, and Brandon joins us from home. Let's get started. So you all, just so you know, a brief history of Juneteenth. Do you want to say it?
So about 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, Galveston Bay, Texas was notified that blacks were indeed free.
Yep.
So that was 2.5 years after everybody learned in American history that the slaves were free in the Emancipation Proclamation.
There you go.
This is the actual black celebration of Independence Day. And just so you know, the ribs are on the grill. I made Big Mama's mac and cheese last night, and we're gonna warm that up because after the show is over, I'm celebrating Juneteenth.
Yes, you are! Freedom Day! It's important we all learn that, and if you don't know more about it, research it, learn it. Knowledge is power, and it's important to know your part of your history. Well, speaking about history, the new season of The Bachelorette, they look more like an episode of Big Brother. The show is set to resume production, but in a bubble. Claire Crawley's season was supposed to air in May, but production shut down due to the virus. Shooting will now resume next month, but all contestants will be tested a week before filming. It looks like everything will take place in one location in a bubble and not at the Bachelor Mansion. Which I feel like the mansion, as you said to me earlier, is a bubble. Meantime, Dr. Anthony Fauci says unless NFL players are essentially in a bubble and tested nearly every day, there may not be a season this fall. The NFL maintains that it will start its regular season on September 10th, with training camp starting late next month. We have an ex-NFL player on our team here at
We
DBL.
do?
I know. Erica, tell me all about the NFL. No. Brandon, that was a burn. Brandon, tell me what you think is going to happen.
Look, I think that the NFL is going to adapt the rules that the NBA is going to try to do. So when people think of bubble, we don't actually think like, like bubble boy, bubble wrap. It's a community, a controlled community to where, the players you'll be away from your families for 4 to like 6 months for the season. But at the same time, if think about it as a player. If you have the opportunity to make $500K to $20 million a year, would you put yourself in a controlled community? And a lot of the players are like, they'll take the risk because they've got to feed their families.
Would you take the risk?
Oh, Brandon?
For $5 million?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
You would take the risk for $5 million. Would you take the risk, Erica?
Oh, definitely.
That's
Definitely,
true.
I would. But I hope that they at least have the opportunity, if they choose, to have their families quarantine with them. I know that you guys are normally on the road and it's probably par for the course, but at the same time, I think it should at least be an option.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I agree. It's just, you don't want to go kiss your wife and then she goes and hugs her grandma that has a pre-existing condition. So there's too much money to be made for them not to play.
Roger Goodell, let's see what he does in the long run. Don't you guys think I look jacked?
Very.
Right? James,
I can't see you, Tori. I'm on an iPad.
just say yeah. Say it really believably.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, thanks,
Yes,
man.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Well, Jamie Foxx is also getting jacked to play Mike Tyson in an upcoming movie about his life. The actor posted these buff photos of his new physique on Instagram. Holy moly. His daily workout routine includes 60 pull-ups, 60 dips, and 100 push-ups. Jamie says he will also play the young Mike with the help of some special effects. Jamie spoke with entrepreneur Mike Birnbaum about how the movie will show all sides of Iron Mike, the good and the bad. Let's take a look.
When I called Mike a couple of years ago and said, Mike, how you doing? He says, I'll pray this to Allah, my brother. I'm just happy. So why are you happy? I'm just happy because I don't have a crazy amount of money anymore. So I don't have any vultures around me. So nobody can take anything from me. So I'm just happy. How are you, good brother? And I said, ooh, that's the person that we want to show.
That's interesting. The involvement, the comeback. Am I right?
Yeah, Mike Tyson is a very interesting character because when growing up, I was during young when he was married to Robin Givens.
That's all I was thinking about.
So yeah, it's just I'm interested to see how the story plays out.
I do too. Brandon, if they don't show the Robin Givens part, I sort of feel like it's a bit of a letdown because that is a big part of his past and his history. Are you looking forward to seeing this?
Absolutely. I remember reading his early biography when I was at prep school, and I read about what he went through as a kid and how Customato, his trainer, basically saved his life with boxing and got him into boxing. But this is one of those things, Erica, where I believe Jamie Foxx manifests this, because remember back in Living Color days, he used to do the Mike Tyson impersonations, and now he gets to play him, play Mike Tyson. That's just one of those things I feel like where it's like you put that out in the universe, and by believing in it, the universe has now blessed him. And I think this is going to be a great movie. People are going to definitely want to watch this.
I do think Jamie Foxx, as you said, I was like, he used to do that impression, Brandon, is a really good actor, and he's been able to disappear in certain roles before when he plays like Ray, for instance. So I think this is going to be, good, but I do want to see the full character range, not just the good.
He's a personification actor.
Yeah.
I mean, not that he couldn't do anything, but like maybe because he does impressions all the time. Right. He just nails it. Totally. He can bring someone back to life. It's crazy.
Yeah, he reanimates almost. Well, we want to give a big shout out to Raven Simone, who, surprise, got married. That's so Raven of her to do that. The actress and former co-host of The View married Miranda Madej in a private ceremony on Thursday. Raven shared pics including one of their matching wedding bands and tattoos on their ring fingers. Mazel to the happy couple. Look at them. Something she wrote in the Instagram post that I wanted to just say was, she's there for my every happiness and there for my every trigger.
I noticed
that. Do you
that.
notice that?
Yes.
Why did that speak to me so much? Because I thought, now that's a real relationship.
Because we're imperfect people.
Yes.
And how does the saying go? If you can't take me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best.
Right.
Yeah, if you can find someone who is going to be there truly, I mean, we take vows and we say these things, but it's something different to actually walk it.
Yeah.
And so if she has found this person to be her partner going through life, I love it. They love it. I love it.
It's so Raven.
Yeah.
I love saying that. Brandon, were you a Raven Simone fan? I remember her from The Cosby Show. Like, Olivia? Was that?
Yeah. From The Cosby Show, and then I had little brothers and sisters, so they used to watch That's So Raven. So, you put that on, and you can entertain them for a good 30 minutes to an hour. But it's funny how y'all took the quote and y'all were like, this is the deep part of it. To me, I was like, wow, they got tattoo rings. They're in love.
They hurt themselves. That's deep, man. Well, we all take something each from our own perspective. All right, I want to hear your take on this. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Lisa Rinna bears all in a new sunglasses ad campaign. There is the 56-year-old actress in the buff wearing only her Christian Cowan XLE specs. I hope I'm saying that correctly. She looks amazing. Her Real Housewives crew posted supportive comments. Well, meantime, her daughter seemed a little out of the loop. Delilah Bell and Amelia Gray both wrote, "Mom, when did you do this?" But Lisa's husband, Harry Hamlin, is on board, writing, "Yup, she's my girl," with a heart emoji. Are you ever too old to pose nude?
I don't think so.
I don't think so
mean,
either.
People need to take ownership over their own bodies, and people have a problem with it, then that's what scrolling's for. Just continue to scroll. But Lisa Rinna's never wearing any clothes.
Never. She's dancing on tables constantly. I mean, that's Lisa Rinna.
Yeah, I mean, what's the big shock? Clearly, her appearance has been prioritized for her entire life. She takes really great care of herself, and that's the result. I mean, that's amazing.
Brandon, would you ever pose nude?
I think it's kind of, and I know I'm going to get some blowback on this one. I think it's kind of a double standard that a woman 50 plus gets to pose kind of nude and a guy 50 plus doesn't get to pose nude.
Says who?
Yeah, they always do.
He gets more blowback.
Says who?
Like Brett, in a lot of magazines, I feel like there's a ton of 50-year-olds looking nude. I think Brandon let go of his argument. Did you lose it?
Yeah. You lost me a blowback.
Me too. I was like, blowback, we're on you. That's amazing. Brandon, please stick around. We still believe in you. And coming up on DBL, one of the largest movie theater chains around will not require you to wear a mask when they're open, and you have a lot to say about it. Plus, Al catches up with actor Baron Vaughn. I love him. You might recognize him from Netflix's Grace and Frankie, but he's got a new show that pits celeb against celeb in a pop culture battle royale. And as we wrap up another week of all new shows, another look at that empty studio. Everyone's working from home. Hello, we miss you. We'll be right back.
Closed captioning.
AMC theaters will reopen next month and will not require moviegoers to wear a mask to, quote, avoid political controversy. DBL Nation, you are fired up with comments. The popular movie chain also won't take customers' temperatures, saying with social distancing in place, additional safety measures are, quote, unnecessary and counterproductive. However, masks will be mandatory for all employees. So DBL Nation, do you give AMC's relaxed pandemic safety measures a thumbs up? A thumbs down? I'm going to get to your comments and go to Brandon and Erica. Brandon, here's the first one. Tiff from Facebook says, not to be a downer, but safety has been a concern of mine since the mass shootings. And now more than ever, it should be the highest priority for AMC too. Brandon, what's your thought on that?
Wow, she went deep on that.
Yeah.
You know what? It's funny because what is not funny, but in this pandemic, we haven't thought about the mass shooters or going into public and worrying about a mass shooter. But now I feel as though AMC, it is your duty to have safety measures put in place for people. Why not have half of the movie theater or half of the theaters mask free, and then the other half for people who want to be a little bit more protected and have masks on? I mean, why can't you do that?
I also don't get why this is a political discussion when our scientists are saying it. Erica, here's the next comment from Mally. This is unfair because the people wearing masks will be protecting the idiots who refuse to wear them. Again, this is from Mally, not my voice. I don't want to call people idiots.
Yeah, I must have not read that memo that only a certain political party was affected by coronavirus.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
How is wearing a mask political?
No.
Like, it's not political. We're talking about public health and safety. So y'all need to stop making things political, okay? Whatever affiliation that I have will not protect me from coronavirus. What will protect me from coronavirus is wearing a mask.
Science equals truth. Rita from Facebook says, how would they enforce this policy anyway? Ushers and flashlights would be way more annoying than wearing masks. I don't know how they, I guess they, yeah, go ahead, Brandon.
Go ahead, Tori. Go ahead. I didn't mean to jump in. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, you know, there's nothing to enforce. They're allowing anyone to come in and anyone to do whatever they want. And if it's up to me, I'm not attending an AMC movie theater because it could be an entire hotspot. And just because you don't want to avoid, politicizing something, you've created a danger to your customers. That's my opinion.
Can we just talk about what goes on in movie theaters already?
Yeah.
So
it's like food particles and like.
I mean, come on.
What goes on? What goes on in movies? I thought people were there to watch movies.
There's just, I mean, movie theaters were already kind of a hotbed of germs. Yeah. So I think you could probably clean it up a little bit.
You know those people that just dump the rest of their stuff and leave when they're done? It's awful. Yeah. Oh, we had one more comment. We can't get to it right now. But let us know if you were interested in going to see AMC and if you think it's a good idea or a bad idea. And if you think masks are political, because right here we don't, but we'd love to hear your opinion. And I'm sure a lot of people feel that way too. We'll be right back with actor and comedian Baron Vaughn. Don't go away. Welcome back to DBL. There's no shortage of laughs when it comes to Baron Vaughn, who I met, by the way, in New York, and he's lovely. He played Bud on Grace and Frankie, and now he's hosting a new show, The Great Debate, that pits celebs against each other to debate pop culture's most profound topics. Al caught up with him earlier. Take a look.
Baron Vaughn, my friend since I started comedy, my homie. I'm so proud of you. Welcome to DBL. Before we get into all the particulars with your new show, which I promise we will, I have to ask a question that I feel is kind of important. How are you right now with all this craziness happening in the world?
Yeah, well, I don't think there's actually an easy answer to that question. It's a very uncomfortable time, to say the least, but there's a part of me that feels strangely optimistic about it. I have hope, you know, even though there are many horrible things happening left and right. But besides that, you know, luckily I got my family, and that's what keeps me sane.
All right, Baron, I saw your super dope show coming out on Sci-Fi called The Great Debate. Now, it pits celebrities and they're arguing about pop culture subjects. I love this. This feels like what happens after a show when you're just sitting around arguing about stuff that we all care about. So give me an example, like a topic, like a debate that we might see.
That's exactly right, Al. That's the tone. That's the feel that we're going for. You know, that kind of feeling of friends just kind of, you know, cutting up about all kinds of different things. This is a very nerd culture, pop culture-y kind of show. So we're all over the world of comic books, comic book movies, video games, sci-fi and fantasy.
What's cuter, Baby Yoda or a baby Miyagi?
That's cool. I'll tell you what, I actually got a chance to interview DMC from Run DMC because he has a comic book, and it was at Comic-Con last year in Denver. Yeah, and I had to park kind of in a neighborhood because it was obviously packed, and I saw a bunch of people in full costume having to walk through a really rough part of Denver, and it was just cool to see like superheroes without their powers. I was like, oh, that's Wonder Woman that's scared to get out of her car. All right, now Baron, you also have another show, and I want to get to it really quickly. It's super cool. It's called The New Negroes. You blend music and stand-up comedy, and with everything going on in the world of culture, black culture, American culture, tell us how that's important.
The whole point of the show was to amplify black voices, but also to show that there is no monolith when it comes to blackness. It was a world, if you will, a space that I wanted to create to let black comics just talk, you know, and not have to be black comics, but just be comics. But right now, luckily, me and Open Mike Eagle are doing a show called Call and Response, which is a bit of a talk show kind of a situation, but it's the same thing as New Negroes, except that we're talking about a lot of the issues that are happening, and we're talking to academics as well as comics.
I love it. Baron Vaughn, you were born to host this show, The Great Debate, premiering on the Sci-Fi Network. You guys check it out. Baron, I love you. When you're in Denver, come into studio. I will come get you from your hotel if you don't.
You'll know I will do that, Al. Good to hear from you. Good to see you. I'll see you soon, man.
Promotional consideration is brought
Welcome back to DBL. Car rental company Hertz is hurting. Good one, Tor. They recently filed for bankruptcy, and now they're selling their fleet at bargain prices. We're chatting about it in today's DBL Drive, sponsored by who y'all?
Car Shield.
That's right. Hertz says the coronavirus pandemic took a big toll on their company. So in March, they let go of 12,000 workers and 4,000 were furloughed. Last month, they filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. So now the deal is they're selling their used cars way below market value. If you check out HertzCarsales.com, you will find about 700,000 used vehicles for sale. Check it out, guys, if you need transportation. When it comes to your car, for peace of mind, get an auto protection plan with Car Shield. Car Shield protects their members from the high cost of auto repairs. Call 1-800-505-9619 for a free quote. You've actually done a podcast about this, no?
Yeah, well, one of my girlfriends owns a used car dealership here in Denver. Gojo Auto. But, you know, when she was talking about, or when everyone, you know, shut down and all these industries were affected, but used cars, not necessarily, because generally people get used or pre-owned vehicles out of necessity.
Right.
So that's not going to change. And then also you have to remember that people are taking jobs in different counties and different cities, just trying to find work, and people who might have had public transportation or ride shares are now looking for a vehicle that they can afford to get to work.
Yeah,
So
priorities are now also important of like, where do you put your money? Brandon, would you look at HertzCarsales.com? I would, for a new vehicle.
Well, I'm gonna look at it right after this, because I was actually gonna buy my mother a car at the end of this summer, and I'm hoping she's not watching right now because we air in Atlanta right now. But I wanted to surprise her at the end of the summer, so I'm gonna go look this up.
You're hurting my heart. Love you so much, Brandon. DBL is new every day. We'll be back same time, same place Monday. Bye, guys.